Hey guys, welcome back to Messy Mama Monday. It's actually been 2 weeks since I've posted a video. It's been a very hectic 2 weeks, and that's what's leading to this video. 2 weeks ago, if you remember, if you've watched my video, I said that I had exciting news that we were going to go get something. Well, that exciting news was we went and got baby bottle calves. And so we bought 8. 4 of them, well, they all ended up with scours, which is cow diarrhea, and it makes them sick, and they die because they're just so small and they have no nutrients. So 4 of our calves ended up dying. The other 4 are thriving and healthy and have no more issues, which is fantastic, because the ones that died were some of my kids' favorites, and it was really hard for them, but they learned a lesson about life, and they know that we got these calves for the full purpose of breeding a herd and making them beef cattle. So eventually they are going to die and they're going to become a source of food for us. So they got to experience that firsthand, which wasn't too bad on them. I think it was good for them. And then we also got chickens. I bought 18 baby chicks. There were 6 meat chickens and 12 laying hens. And I ended up, one of my meat chickens died from heat exhaustion. So we have 5 meat chickens and 12 laying hens now. But yeah, so we started our mini farm and I couldn't be more excited. I've wanted it for like literally ever. And I'm just super excited to have it. But so 2 weeks ago, I didn't post a video just because I was really busy and with the new cows and everything. And I was just like in a funk and wasn't. I was like, no, I got too much to do. And then last Monday, I was extremely sick, so I did not post Monday. And that involves this video that kind of brings me to this video. So I kind of fell off the bandwagon for the last 2 weeks. I haven't been doing my Bible readings like I was, and my prayers and all the things that I was doing for quite some time. The first week was just, or the first few days was just like life got to me and I was busy and I didn't do it. And then 2 Wednesdays ago, me and my husband both instantly just got sick. And we were sick. I was like, okay, it's going to be a 24-hour thing. It'll be over. No, 24 hours went by, wasn't over. So 48 hours, it was still really bad. I was super dehydrated. So my husband had to take me into the ER and I had to get fluids, and they sent off a stool sample and something else to see what it was, because I didn't have any idea what it was to make me that sick for that long. And then I got sent home. So took Wednesday and Saturday, or Thursday night or Friday night, I had really bad chest pain and like kidney pain. Couldn't go to sleep. So Saturday, my husband was doing better, and I was not. And so I was like, okay, what is this? And my husband finally got completely better about Monday that week, last Monday, when I was supposed to post a video and I never did. But I didn't. And Saturday I was really bad, so I went to bed. But Saturday night my parents kept the kids and took them to church with them Sunday. And it was 1 o'clock in the morning and I couldn't hardly walk and I was in so much pain. So he took me to the ER again. They still hadn't gotten my sample back to see what it was. But that doctor did fluids and nausea medication, pain medicine, and CAT scan. And then he also did 2 different antibiotics, because he said, if I've been sick for this long, then you need antibiotics. So I was like, perfect. Spent the whole night in the hospital, didn't leave till 10 a.m. when I was feeling pretty good after those antibiotics, and I got to sleep. I hadn't slept in days, and I was doing a lot better. So I went home Sunday feeling better, still having to go run to the restroom, so we couldn't go to our room, because in the midst of all this, I think it was Friday night, in the middle of all of me and James being sick, our septic system decided to crap out, and we couldn't use our toilet in our room. So we had to go all the way across the house to the kids, which was awful. Awful, worst timing ever. And then I came home with antibiotics, and I finally got better around this past Thursday, and I was feeling good, and I feel fine now. Everything's good, and I'm healed, and I have 2 more days of antibiotics because I missed a dose, and that's it. And I'm fine, but the verdict was I ended up with C. diff, and usually they see that in healthcare workers, and mine would not go away. My husband's went away, mine would not. My son ended up possibly having it, so he was on antibiotics as well, but he's fine. He didn't have any issues like I did. And then my dad ended up getting antibiotics because he ended up contracting it, which was super weird. Because my mom was the one taking care of me while my husband went to work, and she never ended up with it, but he had to help my husband with the septic system, so that's probably how he got it. But in the midst of all that, the septic system broke, and our toilet broke, and we couldn't use our bathroom, and it was a huge mess. And I was sitting there the whole time I was sick, just praying, Lord, please heal me. Like, it was awful. I felt awful. I couldn't do anything. I was in pain, and it was terrible, and I've never been so sick in my life. And then the septic system broke, and the whole time I was just thinking, God, what did I do? Like, what did I do to make this awful thing come about me, and then our whole septic system breaking, and how are we going to afford this, and what are we going to do? Like, we had to buy a whole new septic tank, which was $1,700. We had to re-plumb our whole bathroom from our bathroom down to the septic tank, which we're still not finished with because my husband ran out of time. Like, there's not enough time in 2 days for a weekend. We had to dig the hole for the septic tank, which took a whole day because there was 4 layers of rock, and that my husband had a jackhammer, and it was awful. And then we have to take up our back porch just so we can get to the plumbing, so we can re-plumb it and then replace the porch, because when you open the porch, there's a floor joist completely cut off from when they did the plumbing. So it's just been a huge nightmare, and all these just negative things coming my way. So I kept saying, God, what did I do? Like, do you love me kind of deal? Like, what did I do? Like, what is going on? And then I was watching church yesterday. When I can't go to church, I watch Live Church with Craig Groeschel, because I love him. He's an amazing pastor. He always brings a relevant word, and I could just relate really well to him. You can watch him on YouTube if you want to. So I was watching it yesterday, and his sermon was about trials, and when we're in one, we ask, what did we do? Or, God, do you love me? And that's exactly what I was doing that week. And so it's just ironic. So God, decided to hit me with a brick like usual with, yes, I do love you, because in the message, he reminded me that God usually gives you a trial to teach you a lesson. Maybe there's something you needed to learn, maybe, I don't know, but I think that he just really, like, the lesson he wanted me to learn was to just fully rely on him and rely on him to bring healing, or knowledge of doctors to give me healing, and rely on him to financially provide for all of the mess that we had to buy with the septic tank. I really think he just wanted me to fully rely on him, and the reality of it was I really didn't. And till yesterday, when he hit me with a brick and was like, you need to rely on me, which I feel like I usually do, but then in the back of my mind, I'm usually worrying about, how are we going to pay for this? How are we going to pay for that? And lately I had been worrying about, how are we going to pay to get groceries? How we're not going to be able to buy groceries like we were. How are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? And it's just, that's always in the back of my mind. And I think that's what he was trying to teach me, was I need to stop doing that and start literally just handing it over to him and saying, okay, you do it. I'm not thinking about it. And that's not what I had been doing, obviously. In the back of my mind, I was still worrying about everything. And in that 2 weeks, I fell off the wagon. I wasn't doing my daily prayers. I wasn't studying. I wasn't as close. And so I asked those questions. God, do you love me? And the reality of it is, yes, he always loves us. And he's always there for us. And he never gives you more than you can handle. Or he never gives you more than you can handle with God. He gives you more than you yourself can handle. But he wants you to rely on him to handle the mess. It's always going to be more than your human self can handle. That's why it feels like you have more than you can handle, because he wants you to rely on you, or he wants you to rely on him. And so that's what he was teaching me. So, I guess all that to say, fully trust God in every situation of your life and quit worrying about the stuff in the back of your mind. Quit worrying about the finances and the sickness and provisions and jobs, because he will always provide as long as we are completely faithful, and it's always in his timing. God didn't completely heal me from C. diff. He made it where we went to a hospital and I got the help I needed and the medications I needed for that. That's how I got healed from that. He gave the doctors knowledge. I got the sweetest nurses and doctors in the world that night, and they seriously deserve much, much bigger pay than what they are getting, I'm sure. But, yeah, that's the last 2 weeks of our life. And now this week is super busy, and I'm sure God is wanting me to completely rely on him again, because tonight we have a softball and a baseball game. So me and my husband have to split ways. He takes one, I take one. And one's at 5:30, one's at 6:30. So dinner's not getting made at home tonight. We have to figure out how to get it from town. And that was another question, like, how are we going to get dinner tonight? Like, we don't have the extra funds for that. But God always provides, and we have a little bit extra where we can do that and get dinner tonight for everyone. And then Wednesday night, we have a softball game. And Thursday, we have a baseball game. And my oldest is away on a trip. She went today. They just got there, and she will be back Thursday before school gets out. Tomorrow, my daughter has a field trip. Wednesday, my son has an Easter egg hunt at school. Thursday, my daughter has an Easter egg hunt at school. So it's just like super, super busy week, and I'm really glad they don't have school on Friday, because we are definitely going to be dead that day. And then we have to sub into Sylvan courses, one Thursday night and one Friday morning. So Friday, when we get back from Sylvan, we're taking a nap. We're all going to be dead. But yeah, so fully rely on God. He will get you through any trial that you have, and he loves you. And he is always there for you no matter what. Even when you don't feel like he is there, and it's always in his hands. You just have to give it to him. So see you guys next week.